Can you talk about the laws of prosperity? All right, great question. As with all things, the tendency is to look into our external in order to make us feel a certain way. So it's not just this doesn't just apply to prosperity. Any way we seek to feel, the tendency is to look outside of ourselves, to look at people and things and situations, and make our feeling dependent on them. So when it comes to prosperity, we're looking to the best example, money, right? Money will make us feel prosperous and wealthy and abundant. Right? That is the epitome of looking outside of ourselves, looking to something in our environment to make us feel a certain way. But again, this applies to everything. Happiness, joy, peace of mind. We're always trying to navigate and maneuver things into place so that once they're in place, then they make us feel a certain way, right? So that's the tendency across the board, and it's no different when it comes to abundance and prosperity. The answer, as it is the answer to all feelings, is to not make it dependent on your environment, because the environment is constantly changing. You get things into place for a little bit, and you'll be happy or feel prosperous for a little bit, but then things change again. And then you run after those things and you go, no, don't change on me. You try to put them back into place, and you hold on to things here, and you judge things over here as right and wrong, and this is for me, this is against me, and it's a mad goose chase trying to cling to life and trying to create circumstances that never change. That's not how it happens. Life is continuously evolving, continuously changing. Life is change. So this idea that we can create circumstances that make us feel a certain way, that's really at the root of all of our struggles and our friction with life, right? We're running after it, we're chasing life, trying to make it stand still, and it never does. So the answer, of course, is not outside of ourselves. The answer is to find that feeling within ourselves. So the feeling of abundance and prosperity. That doesn't mean sitting on your couch and thinking about it, or meditating endlessly, or just going within and trying to feel that way. You can try that, but it doesn't stick. It's a forced feeling, and most likely you're coming from your head. Again, the head space. We know about that. It doesn't lead to anything substantial and solid. It's flippant. The headspace is flippant in nature. It'll chase one thing, and it'll chase another thing, and you have this belief that you're convinced of is the truth in the morning, and then by nighttime you're already other information showed up or other experiences, and then you already believe something else, or you go to bed thinking one way and you wake up and then you can't even remember it. Things like that. The mind is all over the place. So trying to force yourself to feel a certain way by just kind of thinking about it and feeling it, it's just not going to stick. So what does stick, right? So that feeling of abundance, that rather than looking for it on the outside, is really feeling complete on the inside, and that is the feeling of being you. So the more decisions you make that are in alignment with being you, the more you fill that space of emptiness that you have inside of you, where you're looking to no, I want to feel prosperous, so I'm going to buy a fancy car. That'll make me feel wealthy. And it might for a little bit, and then very shortly it loses its allure, because anything on the outside can't fulfill you permanently. It grows old. New models come along. It loses its shine. You can spend days and nights trying to polish that vehicle and make it look as shiny. It's not going to work. You're again chasing the external, trying to make you feel a certain way on the internal. So it's really simple. The answer is always the same. Every situation in life prompts you to either listen to your inner wisdom, or go by your head space and all these extrapolations that we just talked about, that if I do this, then it'll make me feel a certain way. or if I acquire something, it'll make me feel a certain way. So it's building up this confidence within yourself, this feeling of fullness that leads to all of these things: prosperity and a feeling of wealth and abundance and joy and happiness and completion, and like you've got purpose. I mean, to be you is your purpose. These things on the outside are just, you apply yourself, you apply the fullness that you are. But if you're not full, then you can't really apply yourself as much, right? So again, rather than just kind of thinking about it, work through life. Life is helping you. Life is pushing you along the way constantly to choose between you and not you. So when you choose to be you, a little bit more each time, and you don't have to wait for these situations to arise. They happen all day long. There's that inner voice. If you listen to it and create the space, right? The judging mind tries to occupy the airwaves and just drown that voice out. So you got to be in tune. You got to be in your body. Be aware, thought awareness, right? And body awareness. We've talked about those things. And really just be true to that voice, and you will slowly fill yourself and feel fuller. And with that fullness comes the feeling of completion, comes the feeling with wealth and abundance. And it's then that the external world starts to mirror that, right? It basically catches up to the way that you feel. It always starts with yourself. You can't make the world around you be a certain way to then feel a certain way, right? That's the wrong way. It's the opposite of how it works. You got to work on yourself, put in the time, but you're working. It's a beautiful, work. It makes you feel permanently joyful. Your outlook is positive. Your aura, your energy, people around you notice that. They want part of your, they want some of that mojo that you've got, that being you mojo. So that is really the law of prosperity, is to work on yourself, to be you in as many moments as you can, because it is really a moment by moment awareness of who am I truly. Am I listening to the external voices out there, this barrage of influence of no, everybody's telling you they know who you think you should be. The media, even friends and family and partners, whatnot, are imposing their views on you of who you think you should be. Well, that's your opportunity. That's how life pushes you forward. Those are your opportunities to either choose to be you or not to be you, right? Choose to be you, and before long, you start to feel abundant.